Hello. I hope all is well wherever you are. So it is Wednesday and Milton has officially touched down. Right now we have a lot of wind and rain off and on. I feel good. I feel good. It's 4:22 p.m. and I've literally spent my day by my window. My bed is next to my window. I have my window open and just listening to the rain, which I put my hearing aids in today because I typically can't hear the rainfall. So I put them in today just so that I can, literally lay by my window and listen to the rain and just watch the day go by. We still have electricity, but I have not been watching any TV. I see whatever piece of news that I get up and find my mother watching, but I've been in my room peacefully, just being still. I crafted a little bit, drink my water, and I'm reading this very, very, very good book called Restore Me. I forgot the author, but it's so good. So I wanted to, reiterate a couple of things I mentioned in my video yesterday that I deleted because I didn't like the quality. We are in Florida. Most of my family is, and most of us did decide to stay put. And just weather the storm. And I do see that there are a lot of us Floridians that did decide to stay for a multitude of reasons. I am native Florida, born and raised. This is not my first go around with the hurricane. And besides, we really didn't have anywhere to go, the affordability to go, and if we were to go anywhere with, little to no options, we'd rather just be home. And it's just as simple as that. The media, it's nothing new as far as, the fear that is being pushed through the media and all of this. You're gonna die, and might as well, write your information on your arms, all that stuff. It's a bit much. And it's just a lot unnecessary. Because it's not like people don't know these things, and I do feel like it's in bad taste to, put even more fear onto people than what they are already experiencing, especially those that cannot evacuate, truly cannot evacuate. And it's just kind of insane to me, some of the stuff that I am seeing and hearing from our own officials, mayors, and government officials, and all that stuff. It's just kind of like be for real to the realities and plights of a lot of people. So I refuse for this to be a rant, but just a couple of things that I did mention yesterday in the deleted video is The lack of humanity in this world is so telling and has been for so many years now, over so many generations. This world it's just not a good place. It's not a good place. And I really do, I'm at a point of, like I mentioned, radical acceptance. You know, I am not afraid. I know, and you know, this life we were born into it, we are living in it, and we will cease to exist from this life one day. I know that we all have a timestamp. And it's not to say that I believe that this storm is coming in to wipe us off the map or anything like that. It's just that I wish that there was some way for people to find their way to towards a place of less fear. I'm just, you know, what will happen. If we are destined to see the days after this storm, then whatever the aftermath is, we will slowly but surely, you know, start to pick up the pieces and, you know, just do what we got to do with what we have to make the best of what we're able to. I don't have the capacity to worry myself over things that are literally out of my hands. They are out of my hands. I can't do anything to change anything about what's going on outside of my home. So, yes, I am at peace. I am relaxing and resting and creating and doing the things that give me more peace and more joy and fulfillment in these moments of quiet and stillness and listening to the rain and watching the trees dance in the breeze. Like, that's how I choose to take in the moments that I am currently living in right now. You know, I'm thankful not to be weighed down by anxiety and fear and doubt. I I'm just I'm just not in that place. And this is what I wish for more of us to find their way there. I was talking to my mother and I was saying the same thing to her about, you know, what's the worst that can happen? And, you know, what do you want to do? And all of this stuff. And she was, you know, basically saying the same thing, you know, like how differently she looks at life, how much losing a child has changed her outlook on life. And I truly feel the same way. You know, I honestly don't know how I felt about a lot of things prior to healing and self-discovery and therapy and losing my sister and all of these doors, moving about in solitude, strengthening my relationship, my spiritual relationships. But I'm just at a completely different place in my life and I'm thankful. I have this incense burning, it's called spiritual. And it's definitely it just smells so good. It smells heavenly. So, I did rant a bit in my other video, and this won't become that. But I do want to speak to the state of the world today and some of the ideas that have come to me. I am not religious whatsoever, but I have been thinking about, climate change and how these natural disasters are just getting that much more intense as the time moves forward, and every season that has its certain natural disasters involved in it comes stronger and stronger every time. And I do believe it ties into the abuse we have inflicted upon Mother Earth. And she is saying enough is enough. I do believe that they serve as the earth attempting to cleanse herself once again. By way of natural disasters. And with that comes sacrifice. And with those sacrifices comes different things for us living on this planet. And it's going to bring about many, many changes. And with those changes will come the good, the bad, and the ugly. And it's like becoming accepting of that is to be accepting that, things are going to change. People are going to leave. People are going to die. And you have no control over who that is, when that would be, and how it would be. You have no control over any of it. And it's like it's not a hard place to get to. It's just you're human. We have feelings. We have attachments. And a lot of times we can't imagine life without certain attachments. But life will prove to you what you are truly able to withstand and handle, whether you're ready to or not. This world is warped. It's wicked. It's evil. And there are so many people that are strung out on power. And it's to the point where you realize that so many people have turned their humanity switch off. A lot of these people in power, their humanity switch is off. And that is the world that we live in. And that is the disease that we need to eradicate. Was that the right word? I sit here and I think about these things and the world and how much suffering exists over peace and freedom and joy. And it's just not a good place. It's just not a good place. And then I was thinking about Noah's Ark. Again, I'm not religious, but I was thinking about Noah's Ark because I know these stories. I've been told these stories when I was a little girl. And so oh, their lights are flickering. And you know, this essentially like this family, they built this ark because there's a great flood coming to cleanse the world of all the evil that had taken over and giving the world a fresh start. Now, could that be in some way, shape, or form happening now through more intense natural disasters? Possibly. The greed is just so far out of hand. It's not even funny. When I tell you it's profits over everybody and everything, that's the world we live in. And I don't care what anybody says. It's not, we are not meant to be living like this. Even though the system that has been created was meant to be just like this. And I do believe people are starting to wake up to just how crazy wicked it all is. Like how we are living. And how these corporations literally, I mean, making billions. You're talking more money than you could spend in a lifetime times 10. And I used to think that, You shouldn't pocket watch people. You know, you can't tell nobody how to spend their money. I used to feel that way too. And maybe it's not necessarily trying to tell anybody how to spend their money. But if you had any sense of humanity, empathy, compassion, goodness in your soul and your spirit for the world around you, that you would be moved to do something. I find it so crazy that the everyday average person has to ask the other everyday average person for help in a particular situation when we all need the help. And then when you have wealthy folks, you can't tell me they don't have the ability to help. You just can't. You know, when you see these folks buying $300 million boats and stuff, like, it's just crazy. It's just so crazy to me. It's just, yeah. And so I want nothing more than for some way, somehow, the earth be cleansed and we start anew. And all of the greed, the power, the corruption, the evil is just left behind. I mentioned a shift a while back, that something was in the air, something was coming. And I still don't quite know what it is. But I hope it leads to a place of freedom and bliss. Even if it requires leaving this world and going into another one, another realm. 'Cause this place ain't it. I'm not afraid to say it. It ain't it. So the wind is moving enough to cause some flickering, but that's just one street light. And we still have power as of 4:45 p.m. But it is moving. It has definitely picked up. I think it went out. Yeah, that little street light over there went out. I'm going to cut this because I need to open my window. It's getting a little warm, and turn on my fan. They turned off the ACs for precaution. So we've been leaving our windows open as much as we can without, the front windows are closed because the wind was blowing the rain inside, but in the back, it's not getting in our rooms too much. it is like nice and cool too. All right. Till next time.